Other big, focus area in the next couple of months is going to be the monsoons, and the IMD has forecast a normal monsoon this year. To discuss more the impact on the agri sector, we have with us Mr. Dhanuka, the managing director of the company, who joins us on the phone line. Hi, Mr. Dhanuka. Thanks so much, sir, for joining in. The IMD, they've stated that the initial part, that's June and July, that's going to be a normal monsoon. Maybe, in fact, El Nino could set in August as well as September. Will there be an improvement in your numbers due to a normal monsoon? What's your estimate, sir?
You see, India is a big country, and the recent forecast of IMD has brought cheers on the faces of the Indian farmers, because according to earlier forecast of other meteorological departments, they were talking El Nino, but now IMD has given forecast of normal monsoon of 96% long period average. So I think this is a good sign for the Indian agriculture. As for the consecutive second year, we will have a good rainfall. And this year, we hope that the production will be all-time high for food grains. And the current financial year also.
Right. Mr. Dhanuka, if you could tell us in terms of numbers, what would it mean? I mean, you must be having some kind of, revenue forecast that you have for the coming fiscal. In the first 9 months of the year, you've grown by close to around 9%. Could we expect a double-digit growth for FY18, the numbers you're working with? And also, I wanted to ask you about your margins. The input costs were going down, so that's what led your margins to go to around 20%. Input costs have gone up, so can you hold on to those margins? Can we see some pressure over there?
Yeah, we are expecting around 15% top line growth in FY18.
Okay.
And
margins?
Since the margins are now reached to a, I can say, optimum level,
okay,
so our focus will be to sustain these margins.
Okay.
Okay. So 15% revenue growth and maintaining margins at around 20% for FY18. Sir, but if you could tell us, in the last 3 months, say, have raw material prices gone up? And if yes, by how much?
It will depend from product to product. In some products,
on a blended basis for the company?
For companies, since we have 2/3 of specialty molecules where there is no price impact, but definitely 1/3 generics prices has increased,
okay,
and the increase is 10 to even up to 50% in few molecules.
Okay. So how will you be able to mitigate this impact of, price increase in 1/3 of your portfolio to maintain your margins? What gives you the confidence that margins are sustainable? Will you be able to increase the prices of your products, or are there any other operational levers you have?
No, we have to increase the prices of the products, because ultimately every company is selling in the same boat. Most of the imports are from China, and China, because of the environmental issue, number of units has been closed down. So that is the gap between supply and demand, because of which the prices has increased, and no company has the choice except to pass on the same to the consumer.
Thanks so much, sir, for holding on to that. We just needed to address that piece of news. So I wanted to ask you about what's the working capital situation currently. If you could give us in number of days. I remember you telling us that because of demonetization, working capital had got a little stretched. What's it now?
We are able to control our book debts, and our average debt collection period has rather reduced, but inventory levels has increased. And that was a basically move which the company took, because the prices were on the rise, and we were able to cover some inventories at lower prices, which will give benefit to the company in its margins.
Okay. Sir, last year, FY17, which was, a normal monsoon year, if you could tell us what was the farm income growth and therefore the investments made in agri inputs, just to get a sense of what the typical growth looks like for the industry in a normal monsoon. So farm income growth as well as investments in agri in FY17.
Touchwood, from farmers' point of view, the year was very good.
Barring demonetization, I guess.
Yeah. The crop was very healthy, and the yields were very high. So farmers and North India, the crop was pest free. So without spending money on pesticides, farmer is able to cultivate good harvest.
Right. Okay, Mrs. Dhanuka, before we let you go, IMD will keep coming out with their periodic forecast and in various parts of the country as well. What's your geographic breakup, if you could give us those numbers?
For the company?
For your sales, yes, sir.
Yeah, we have the highest sales in Andhra and Telangana. Around 20% sales is coming from this portion.
Right.
As a zone, West zone is the highest.
Okay.
West zone is how much, sir?
It will be around 30%.
30%. Super.
Thank you, sir, for joining in. So that's the management of Dhanuka.